and we're kind of freestyling, kind of listening to directions, kind of doing whatever Google says. I had the craziest idea. What if I baked a cake? And this is my opportunity to decorate it. It's my sister's birthday is coming soon. I was like, I could bake a cake. Hello guys. So basically, as I said earlier, my sister's birthday is coming soon. I was just like, I've been wanting to make a cake for so long. What a perfect occasion, right? And I've been studying so hard for the past 10 years, watching those cake maker YouTubers. I've been taking mental notes for 10 years. Do I actually know anything? Absolutely not. So that's why I've gone with the box cake thing for today. However, I really just making this cake based off vibes and whatever comes up at the top of Google when I Google stuff. At first I was gonna make plain vanilla since I think vanilla or yellow cake tastes good, but I was like, no, this cake isn't for me. It is for my sister, so I have to make things she likes. So I have carrot cake and German chocolate. I don't even like chocolate cake, but we have to make this taste good. And I have coconut, all the stuff, and we're kind of freestyling, kind of listening to directions, kind of doing whatever Google says. Whatever Google says, okay? It's a little chaotic, but I'm only making half of each cake since I have these tiny 6-inch pans. Since she's like, no, you have to make 2. I was like, oh, I guess I could. So we're making 2. We're making 2 cakes actually. I got the same brand for both of these. It says you need 3 eggs for the mix, and if I can't get half of 3 eggs, what happens there? So I'm just gonna split it in half and do all that. We're gonna start with the German one. 3 large eggs. I guesstimated what half of 3 eggs looks like, so I'm now realizing I could have just put 1 in each and split the other half so it'd be more accurate, but whatever. They also both call for oil, so I'm gonna put the oil in both of those. And then after I add the oil, I have coconut milk, since this random Reddit says usually German chocolate cake has the coconut, which, like, I'm not a big fan of coconut, but we're putting coconut in there apparently. And instead of the water, I'm gonna put half coconut milk, and a lot of people are asking or saying you should try sour cream also, and someone said replace sour cream with the water so it's a little bit denser. So I might try to replace a little bit. I don't know how dense we want this. I kind of was going for a little bit more light and fluffy, but we'll see what happens. Red is German, blue is carrot. Third a cup. Oh, no! No! My God, she's got it. She took it. Jabri took it from me. That was like a quarter spoon. It was a quarter teaspoon. I was going to use for quite a lot of things, but no, she robbed me. It fell and she robbed me. I'm gonna steal it and wash it again. It's on the duty ground. It says 1 cup of water. This is half a cup. I'm gonna put coconut milk only in this. Excuse me, Bria. Scooch. Thank you. I ended up adding just like 1 blob of sour cream and then water for the rest, because I don't want to make it too dense. But hopefully I agree with everybody on the internet when this comes out. And put a little bit of cinnamon and my lacking vanilla extract. And I think that's all we're gonna do for the German cake. I'm gonna mix all the liquids, and then we're gonna attempt to see what half of the box looks like. Again, just vibes. I will not be measuring. You know, this feels like a little bit more of the tiny bit, so I'm just gonna dump the rest in the carrot cake. I was planning to put that in there anyway. Teensy bit of vanilla. And I think we're set for the German cake. I'm gonna mix it, and we're gonna start the carrot cake. I'm gonna do some more Googling for the carrot cake. And I know I also Googled a little bit for the frosting. I don't know if I'm gonna do cream cheese frosting on both yet. So I definitely want it on the carrot cake, but I might just go for like a little bit of a vanilla coconut on the German one instead of cream cheese vanilla coconut. I feel like the cream cheese might be too much, So I think I'm gonna make 2 different frostings for that. And apparently for the German one, you're also supposed to use evaporated milk and like cook it down in egg yolk. I don't know how I feel about using the egg yolk though. I don't think that's really my vibe, but I'm hoping if I like cook it, will kind of caramelize it a little bit with the coconut and it'll be fun. So we'll see what happens there. Some late Googling and I'm a bit lazy, so I don't really think I'm gonna follow exactly what it says. That includes measuring and like getting vibes. Maybe I should kind of read the instructions a little bit, but I don't know if I will, honestly. It says you're not making it from scratch, but then everything's like in here. Everything's in here. They just keep going and going and going. I found a recipe and of course the Reddit threads. It seems like they added extra flour in this recipe for some reason. And I think I might do that too, because from what I know, it seems like if I'm gonna add fresh carrots, which honestly I don't really want to, I'm lazy, but I'll shred a few. I got baby carrots just for this, and if I don't do it now, they're never gonna get used. So I'm gonna use like 4 maybe, just based off guessing. We'll see what it looks like in the bowl, and then just put it there. I'm trying to figure out what's the extra flour for. I'm gonna put extra flour in there. And this one also recommends sour cream. I've seen people recommend sour cream. I found clove powder and I like making chai so often, even though I'm not bad at it and it's definitely not authentic, but like now I have clove powder instead of real cloves, so it will be so much faster. And I got ginger powder also, because we might have some, but I don't know where, and I'm too lazy to get actual ginger and shred it like I'm about to do these carrots. I already had cinnamon, nutmeg, blah blah blah. Just gonna put like probably 1/4 teaspoon in all of them, which will hopefully dry up some of the extra moisture from the carrots. But then again, once again, just vibes. Add a little bit of this. Let me just put this in now. And someone recommended I put milk somewhere on the Reddit, so guess I will. So I think I'll replace the water, 1/2 cup of milk instead of water. I think that's what I'm gonna do. And then I'm gonna do the half and half sour cream like I did last time with water, just like I did for the German one. Cause I can, free will, it's crazy out here. I didn't get the sour cream. I'll be back momentarily. Dollop of daisy. Okay. Do 1/2 cup of straight milk. My family never drinks whole milk, or at least this part of my family. We've been drinking almond milk for years, and at first I thought it was disgusting, but then I got used to it. And before that, we had 2%. And now whole milk, every time I have something with whole milk, it's just like, oh, I feel that. It's not like in a lactose intolerant way, it's just kind of like a, ooh, a bit uncomfy. Just a tiny bit uncomfy, you feel? I'm gonna put more cinnamon because I can. Oh, enough. But they say you have to let your ancestors speak to you. I don't really know if they were about that carrot cake life, honestly. They could have been. Okay. Okay, we opened. Woo! These are all 1/2 teaspoons. So I'm just like really going based off vibes here. Oh, didn't work. It kind of hurt, sorry. Oh my god. I love ginger, so I might go overboard. It's close to half. This all might be way too much for this tiny little container, but I don't really care. So I just put the carrots, mixed all the liquids and other things here, cleaned up a little bit. But like, I was like, why are they kind of good? I know I do this literally every time I eat carrots for the first time in a while. I'm like, wait a second. Whoever genetically modified these kind of cooked. But it's also really sweet. So I see why they made a cake out of this, honestly. That's what it's looking like. The oil is on top. Some people recommended putting butter instead, but I was too lazy to melt butter, so I just used the vegetable oil as earlier. It's now time to guesstimate what half of this box looks like. I'm probably gonna do a bad job, but for this one, I want a little more than half since I'm too lazy to get extra flour to put in here. I started like 4 or 5 baby carrots, put it like packed into the bottom. It was only like 2/3 of the way full, so I just packed the top with these coconut flakes, and then put a little more than just that on top. And these are sweetened, so this cake might be pretty sweet, honestly, but oh well. Okay, how I'm gonna do it, I'm flattening it out. I don't think you can see. I'm just drawing a line down the middle of the bag. It's kind of giving half. Hey guys, I can't find the scissors. Hashtag whack. Whack world. This is a bad idea. Terrible, terrible. We got one. I lie to myself literally all the time, and I put a little extra flour in the carrot cake anyway. Part of the advantage of only using half is that this tastes like trash, I still have the other half to try to redeem myself. This one I think I'm gonna attempt to use maybe a little less of the mix. So maybe that will make it less dense. Maybe I'm speaking nonsense. Who knows? That was kind of a bar, right? Wow, this hole sure is quite tiny. Guys, I have made a huge mistake. Look at this batter. You see this batter? That's what a pancake looks thicker than that. You see this? What and I was just like, wait a second. I googled it just because like maybe I'm crazy. It says, how should cake batter look? It's just thick and fluffy. And I realized I added the water and oil like it was the full box. So now I have no choice but to mix 1.5 more eggs, put them in here, and put the rest of the cake mix in here. Silly goose activities, don't be me. Don't be me, guys. Lucky me, know thyself. I thought something like this could happen. I got cupcake liners. We have cupcakes in here. And I'll just make cupcakes out of all the extra. We'll be fine. It's really fine. More cake. Nobody can be mad at more cake. It's really cool. We're chilling so bad. We're the biggest chillers in the world. Everything's so fine. But like, it actually looks like batter now. So I think we're chilling. I'm gonna fill both of these tiny little 6-inch pans up halfway, and then we're gonna check in on it, and we're gonna put it in again, and I'll have 2 cakes of both types and a bunch of cupcakes. Just realizing I didn't put any like parchment paper down under the tin, so it seems like we're hopes and praying that it will come out at some point. I have 8 ounces cream cheese, half stick of butter, and I was gonna put the coconut in it, but I don't know how I feel about that anymore. So I think I'm just gonna do orange. Asked my sister, she said she's okay with it, even though it's a little experimental. But I have the zest. It's not that much, but it's just for the frosting, so I'm hoping it will be enough, and I'll put a little bit of the juice in there. I think I'm gonna top it with like a spiced sugar mix. I might make half the sugar, or maybe like 1/4 of the sugar, brown sugar instead. I don't actually have confectioner sugar, I have regular sugar. You might be like, oh Shannon, that's such a novice move of you. But no, I did it on purpose because I have a blender. And confectioner sugar is just small sugar. A stick of butter is 1/2 cup. I thought it was 1 cup for some reason, but I know better now. There was a recipe asking me to put a full cup in there, and I was like, that sounds a little bold. But like, I'm not against the idea, but more of them said 1/2 cup, so 1/2 cup, so I'm listening to them instead. Okay, more of them are saying a full teaspoon, so I'm gonna do a full teaspoon and hope everything's fine. I left the cream cheese and the butter sitting out for a while, so they'll both be soft, and hopefully I can whip it with just a fork pretty decent. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt just for vibes. This butter was unsalted, I believe. Yeah. It smells so good. going for. 1 cup brown sugar, 2 cups white sugar, and I got my handy dandy portable blender my sister got me, and I'm gonna blend it in here. It's gonna be tiny fine, hopefully. I have to shake it up, and then we're gonna mix it in. But it's kind of giving like an orange creamsicle, orange Julius flavor, which I'm personally a big fan of. But I'm hoping I'm not just like biased because they're both orange. I'm gonna put this over here so I don't get confused and accidentally dump it in way before I'm supposed to, and then get really upset and sad because I fumbled everything. Dry, no water. If you have water in here, you're going to regret being alive. That's what's gonna happen. I don't make the rules. I'm gonna stop here since it's getting full. My blender kind of started like screaming at me a little bit, so I stopped to charge it for a bit. It gets tired, it's just a girl. I finally finished making the frosting. I could add more sugar. They say more sugar makes it more sturdy, but I think since I'm gonna chill it after I do the crumb coat for it to be thicker, like it holds up pretty well. You're watching this. It's a little bit grainy. I think I got a little bit lazy on blending the sugar towards the end, but it's not grainy enough for me to really like care. Aren't they so cute? This one's a bit crushed and a little bit denser just because like an hour later when this one was done, I stacked it on top. So it's a little flatter. I'm gonna level this one. I'm gonna keep this one for a nice hump. I think I want kind of like looking like the top of a hill. I think that's a little cute. I'm gonna take a piece of this and dip it in the frosting, see how it tastes. It's good stuff. I'm so good and talented. My crumb coat, as Yolanda would say, crumb coat and chill. Finally starting on the German one. This one I've decided I'm going to use 1 egg yolk instead of 3 egg yolks like it says. I don't want it to be too creamy, and I assume you have to heat it up with everything else so it doesn't like cook super fast and ruin everything. So right now I've used the rest of the vanilla extract I had, which was 1 teaspoon, and half a cup of butter, which is 1 stick. And it says I should use 1 cup of brown sugar and 1 cup of evaporated milk. So the only evaporated milk I have is this, which is 5 ounces, and as far as I'm aware, a cup is 8 liquid ounces. So I'm going to replace the rest that isn't in here with coconut. Fun, fun, fun. Hopefully the egg yolk doesn't cook too much and end up nasty. Ignore the brown. I burnt popcorn in here like weeks ago, but I promise it doesn't transfer to anything. This is what we're working in right now though. It's got some orange on it. This bowl was used for the carrot. Maybe I'll make an egg white omelet since I've barely eaten all day. And grab the yolk. It's grabbing. You let the whites sift through your fingers all nastily, like snot. And then you dump it in there. And you do the same thing with the other one. This is really cold. Dump it in there. If it doesn't get whisked in, we're just using it. If it doesn't get whisked in, it's going to cook and it's going to be so disgusting and nasty. We're just going to be like, oh my god, you suck. You don't want that. You don't want that. And you have to restart. At least let ingredients. Don't get to bleed it. I also saw somewhere, I think it was Reddit, that it tastes pretty good when you toast the coconut. So I'm gonna get about a cup of coconut in here. This is pretty sweetened, so I'm thinking I might caramelize a little bit. Even though the bottom looks like it's doing a little something. You see this? I don't see this. don't like how the bottom's looking. All this, I think there's somehow still like clumps at the bottom, so I'm probably gonna have to strain it later. Okay, what I was doing. I'm gonna make about half a teaspoon of all the seasonings we used earlier. So we got cinnamon. This is gonna be for the carrot cake. Cloves. I'm gonna sift this over the top at the end. I'm gonna use half the amount of nutmeg just because based off like the vibe, some other times things you're just not supposed to use that much. Okay, so I've decided to stop being like lazy and skeptical and just add the third egg. So low-key might have burnt the coconut flakes earlier just a little bit, since some of it's not cooked, some of it's like teensy tiny bit, it's a little too cooked. Temper it. There's not really much to look at right now. Ready? I'm attempting to temper this egg. I don't know how I feel about this German cake frosting right now. I'm gonna strain it so it's not like looking like this, but like I'm not sure how the flavor's gonna turn out over here.
Oh, I just wanted the chest bones. I wasn't thinking about this part.
Oh, I didn't think you were talking to me.
No, I was.
Oh.
Ready?
No.
Can you put the fork down?
Chest bump. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah! Don't you feel so manly? Do it again. Ready? 1, 2, 3. God. That was so wonderful. Good job.
This is really, really bad. So I'm gonna make something different because this is gross. This is why I didn't want to use eggs. I'm gonna strain it. Alright, we're straining it, and then we're gonna just use regular sugar, caramelize it, stir it in, and hope for the best. I simply lacked the multitasking skills for that because, as Soldier Boy said, nasty, nasty, nasty. Okay, I just added coconut based off vibes. This is what's been strained out, so you can kind of tell it looks mostly like the butter came through, so I'm probably not gonna have much butter. That's what came out. Ooh, yeah. That's in the carrot cake. I think we're gonna have a fun time with that one. It was going so well. I turn around for 10 seconds, and since it's going so unevenly, this whole island just isn't melted, and the rest is burnt. So you're about to dissolve this in some water and start again. Once again. Even though I have a lower heat, the bottom was still melting a bit faster than top, so I'm starting to mix it, which is a little bold. But I don't have anything on this fork. It's a fresh new fork, no water, no nothing. Hopefully this mixing in just melts it. I could add it to everything else. I feel like it's working. But also me mixing it in should also balance the temperature a little better. So I added the butter mixture from earlier that I strained out. But I think I made it do it a little too fast since it started clumping up and crystallizing. I guess this isn't crystallizing. I think this is still remeltable, which is good. I think I just changed the temperature a little too fast. But I added some milk and everything over here and realizing I think I'm just making caramel, not frosting. But after this remelts down, I'm gonna add it again, and then we're just gonna put it in the fridge and see what comes out. I really don't know what to expect. But my crumb coat is pretty good. I'm just gonna whack it on. I don't want this to be perfectly smooth. I want it to give more of like a Easter vibe or something, you know? I wish I had one of those spinny tables, the Lazy Susans. This would be so fun. 2. I'm putting like this much to the side. I'm gonna dust, and then we're gonna put this back in the fridge. I don't think either of these cakes are gonna be what I envisioned when I first said I wanted to make a cake. However, it's because like the flavor profiles and stuff. Super cute. You put a dot of these 3 different gel dyes. Have yellow, red. This is green just in case this had be green, but I have barely any here, and I think I've heard like 2 dots could, or 3 dots maybe, could be good for an entire like container. Dipping this in. I'm gonna start with the yellow just because I don't think the red will really do much, especially since I'm trying to keep it a lighter shade. It looks practically the same if you're like not paying attention. At the end of the day, this is a yellow dye. It looks orange up here, but this looks orange for sure. But it's yellow, guys. It's yellow. You have to believe. Blind trust. This is a lot of red. And I hope for the best. No, it's looking pink. It's looking pink, guys. I think only an extra full drop of yellow could fix this. I forgot that red food coloring usually tastes bad. Even though it's gel, it's not supposed to change the flavor. It's the red 40, guys. Red 40, red 3, whatever they put in the food colors, it always tastes bad. It's really throwing off the flavor. I'm gonna keep going just because this is decorative. If this weren't decorative, I would throw it straight in the trash. It has an after flavor of red 40. Okay, I don't hate this. 2 parts yellow, half a part red. This one is for writing letters. This one's for flowers and stuff. I've never piped anything in my life, so I'm gonna see how this goes. Might go poorly. To fill a piping bag and use it with multiple tips, you have no choice but to get this thing called a coupler, which you basically like put something at the end and like screw onto your different ones. And I don't have that, nor do I plan to go get one. So instead, since I have my 10 years of YouTube watching experience, I got a Ziploc bag. I'm just gonna chop the corner off of it. It's been in the fridge for a bit. I think it'd probably get a little more solid, but like temperature wise, it's cold. And we're in. And I'm gonna mix the coconut in now, and then hope I can like just kind of dump it on the top one and hope for the best. So we got coconut, whole thing. Definitely not thick enough to like stay in one place. I think what I'm gonna do is, because it's so obnoxiously liquidy, put it in the fridge. Not the fridge, it's pretty cold. I tried the pedal tip, it's kind of melted together, Clearly I lack talent in this section, so we're just gonna vibe. I'm not gonna look up how to do this since I'm tired. And we're gonna see what happens. If you change the angle, it looks different, which you can see. But I'm literally practicing on the cake, and nobody will care since it will taste good and look cute. I think she is so cutie patootie. So basically, since the caramel sauce, now that it's been chilled all night, it's actually a lot more solid. So if it's leaking, it's not that bad. So I'm just taking the back of a spoon, just plopping it up here. This is homegirl. I think she's cute. Got some extra drips and stuff. I think it's dripped enough, so I'm gonna attempt to put coconut a little small. Not perfect, but I think she's cute anyway. It's birthday.
This is anymore.